Alright, technical manual operator for the hydraulic excavator John Deere with the model 230 LCR and NSN 38050146308004 and model 230 LCRD with the rock drill NSN 38050146308006. They know the department already approved for the release for the distribution unlimited. Introduction. Read this manual carefully with learn how to operate service with your machine correctly. The failure to do so could cause the result in personal injury, equipment damage for the manual with the safety sign with your machine may also be available in other languages. See your John Deere order. This manual should be considered the permanent part of the machine, but it should remain with the machine when you sell it. Measurements of the manual are given about both metric and customary units and equivalents. Usually only correctly replacement of the fastener parts of the fastener. The metric and inch for the fastener required with the specific metric of the inch and wrench. Right hand and left hand side with the determinant of the facing of the direction forward. Travel the group number for the group number to XXXXX. Following maintenance task titles in the table of contents refer to the John Deere functional group in the condition coding system. Warranty is provided by the John Deere support with the program. The customer who operates and maintains the equipment described in this manual with the warranty and the warranty certificate which should be received from your dealer. The warranty provided with you with the assurance that the John Deere will back in this product with the defects appear with the warranty period with some of the circumstances of the John Deere. Also provided with 5 field improvements with left and with the change of the customer, even with the product without of the warranty. Should the equipment be modified with the change of the performance beyond the original factory specification, the warranty will become void with the field improvements of the ABDI with the set. Any fuel delivered above the specification, otherwise overpowering the machine for the result of such action. Blank. Chapter 1: Safety and Safety Signs. Alright, John Deere excavator safety features. 1. Seat belt is provided with for the operator. 2. The window guard with the window bars preventing the contact with the moving the boom. 3. The rear view mirrors for the operator with the view of the activity behind him. 4. The secondary exit with the front of the window with the provided with a large exit with the path of the cab door with the block for the emergency situation. The secondary exit with it also provided with the 5. A pilot control shutoff with the lever near with the pad that exists for the reminds the operator with the deactivate the hydraulic functions before leaving the machine. 6. Steps wheel wide slip with the resistance steps may be entry with existing easier, but they also provide with the price for the cleaning shoes. 7. The handholds large conventionally placed handholds make it easier to enter the and exit of the operating position surface area. 7. The 8. The swing brake. Swinging brake engages the automatically with the engine stop that helps secure with the upper structure with the transportation of the machine. 9. Bypass start protection shield over the start helps to prevent the dangerous bypass starting. 10. The travel alarms alert the bystander of the machine is for moving the propelling. And 11. The engine fan guard, a secondary fan guard inside of the engine compartment that helps to prevent the contact with the engine fans blades. Recognizing safety information. The safety alert symbol will also see the symbol without the machine of the manual alert with the potential personal injury of the following recommendation precaution for the safety operating practices. Understanding single word. Single word with the danger warning caution is used with the safety alert system. This danger is identified with the most serious hazards. Danger warning safety signs of the located near the specific hazards with great general precautions are listed with the caution safety signs. Caution also causes the attention safety measures in this manual. Follow the safety instructions. Carefully read all the safety measures of the manual other than your machine and safety signs. Keep the safety signs in the good condition. Replace the missing of the damaged safety signs being distributed with the new equipment and components with the repair of the parts and include with the current safety chains how to operate with the machine, how to use the control properly with the do not let anyone operate without the instruction. Keeping the machine in proper working condition. Unauthorized modifications to the machine may impair with the function and safety after the machine's life. Avoid injury from the loading of the machine onto the trailer, fastening the machine from the trailer, unloading the machine from the trailer. Always use the caution wheel loading and unloading machine with the trailer on the trailer. Always note the following with the recommendation procedure for the machine because if all the machines are not loaded with the fasten and unloaded with the same way. Always keep the bystander clear of the area to avoid the injury. Keep the trailer bed clean. Power the trailer on the firm with the hard level of the surface that will not be given away with the weight of the machine with the trailer. Put the shock blocks against the truck wheels. Use the ramp and loading of the dock with the ramps must be strong enough to adjust the handle below and have the low angle with the correct height. If the machine is equipped with a seatbelt, fasten it before the starting of the engine. Drive the machine on and off the ramp slowly. Fasten the chains cable to the machine track for the track chain link. Do not place the chains for the cable over against the fly jog lines or hoses. Avoid injury with the back over the ends, backing from back over axis. Movement of the machine with to be sure that allow the person with a clear area clear the area. Always be alert with the bystander moving the work area with the use of the horn or other signals to warn the bystander before the moving of the machine. You would use a single person with the keep of the person with the view at all times. Be sure single person is clear before the backing up. To avoid back over to accidents, always look around before you with the backup to be sure that everyone is clear. Keep the travel along with the work conditions. Signal the person with the backing up the view with the disruption to keep the signal person in view with the learning of the meaning of all the flags and signs and marking you on the job of who has the responsibility of signaling. Keep the windows and mirrors and lights clean in good condition. Dusty, heavy rain, fog, they can reduce visibility. As visibility decrease, reduce the speed, use of the proper lighting to read and understand the operating instruction from the operator's manual. Avoid injury from the roll-away access to prevent roll-away. Always make sure that the machine is properly secured before leaving the operating machine seat. With the death and serious injury may result if the attempt to mount the stop of the moving a machine. To avoid roll-away, select the level of the ground with the purpose of the possible with the park of the machine. Pull up the pilot control and the shut-off lever in the lock position. Lower all the equipment to go around. Stop the engine. Block all the tracks. If you must park on the grade position with the machine to prevent rolling, may park a reasonable distance from the other machine. Read and understand the operating instructions from the operator's manual. Inspection of the machine. Inspect the machine carefully each day with walking around it before you start with see a pre-start inspection chapter. Use handhold steps. Following in one of the major components of the personal engine. When you get onto the machine, they'll always maintain these points with the contact step of the handrail safe with the machine. You have to control the handrail the different jumping on and off of the machine. Never mount with the dismounting the moving of the machine. Be carefully slipping the condition with the platform steps, handrails when leaving the machine. Use the seatbelt. Always use the seatbelt when operating your machine. Maintaining a seatbelt. Keep the seatbelt with the condition complete with the seatbelt. The assembly should be replaced after 3 years of use regardless repairs between the replacement and the intervals. Be carefully examine the buckle, the webbing, the attachment of the hardware. Be sure the retractor equipment is locked to prevent the extension and latching buckle. Be sure to attach the hardware in place for the tie, and if necessary, replace the seatbelt that does not operate properly if it is damaged or worn or deteriorated. Alright, moving and operating the machine safely. Bystander can run over the node of the location of the bystander by before moving and swinging and operating with the machine. Always keep track of the way alarm in a working condition as it warns people that one machine is starting to move. They use the single person with the moving and swinging and operating with the machine in the congested areas. Coordinate hand signals before starting the machine. Operating only with the operator's seat. Avoid all possible injury from the machine damage if it does not start the engine in the shorting across the starter terminal. Never start the engine while standing on the ground. Starting the engine on only with the operator's seat. Secondary exists. Machinery equipped with the cabin equipment with the secondary exists. The initial secondary exists. Information see all the text topics. Secondary exists. Exit tool. Open the upper the front with the exit window. In chapter 10 with this manual. Operating machine safely. Check out the person with the area of the operation machine with the movement. They use the seatbelt to make sure the work on the side with the problem with the sufficient training of the firmly support of the machine. Working with close to the excavation position of the machine. Propel the motors at the rear of the caution. Typically, when working with the frozen ground, temporarily increase with the cause of the ground to be soft, making the ground unstable. Digging deep, hitting at the bottom of the boom of the bucket cylinder. Behold the against the ground. Using the bucket only with the digging. Does not use the jack and the hammer the wrecking ball. Dig with caution before digging and check the location of the cable, the gas lines, and water lines. Operate with caution. Avoid the contact move with overhead obstacles when you operate with the machine. Avoid typically when the operating use your seatbelt. Avoid slope with keeping the bucket low over the ground with the causing the machine before the tracks uphill. With avoid the typical of the machine with the swinging heavily low. Reduce the swing speed as necessary. To be cautious of the tipping of the working of the frozen ground, the temperature increase with the cause of the ground to become soft and making the ground and travel unstable. Avoid power lines. Serious injury to death can result with the contact of electrical lines. Never move any part of the machine below or closer to the electrical line than 3 meters plus the ties. The line insulated to drive the machine safely. Use the seatbelt with the machine before moving the machine. Find out what the way to move the pedal still level in the direction you want to go. With the pushing down with the front of the pedal with the pushing level the move of the machine toward the idlers. Keep the bucket on the upside of the hill, approximately 30 centimeters, 12 inches above the ground, where bed going up and downhill. If the machine starts to slip, the boat becomes unstable. Lower the bucket immediately. Be aware of the exhaust fumes to provide acceleration. Engine exhaust fumes can cause the sickness and death. They must be operated with the building compliant with their adequate ventilation. Have either use exhaust pipe extension to remove the exhaust fumes, to open the doors or windows, to bring enough of the outside air into the area. Park the machine safely. Before working on the machine, park the machine on the level surface with the loco or the bucket to the ground. Turn away the idle switch off and run the engine with the engine RPM on dial at 1/3 position for 2 minutes. Move the engine RPM down with the slow idle position. Turn the key on the switch of the off and remove the key with the switch below. The pilot control shut off lever in the lock position, allowing the engine to cool. Keep the riders off the machine. Only allow the operator on the machine. Keep the riders off of the riders of the machine. Or separated with the injury, but the such begin being obstructed with the forward objects that begin thrown off of the machine. Whereas also obstruct with the operator's view, with the resulting in the machine being operated in an unsafe manner. Operating attachment safely. An attachment may be changed with the capability of the machine in any with all the ways. Safe the range of the motion, machine stability, hydraulic performance, engine performance. Read attachment manual to learn how the attachment works. Air with the free of the bystander obstruction. Carefully operate with the attachment to learn the available range for the motion. Attach to the how objects manipulate with attachments. Attachment itself will make contact with the machine, especially with the operator station. Consider adding the guard of the machine to protect the operator with the necessary to prevent the damage of the machine. See the dealer with the match attachments to ban on the machine operator. Handle the fluid safely and avoid fires. Handle the fluid with fuel with care with a highly flammable. Do not refuel the machine when smoking when near. Open the flame of the sparks. Always stop the engine before refueling the machine. Fill the fuel tank outdoors. Store flammable fluids away from the fire hazards. Do not incinerate, puncture, and pressurize containers. Make sure the machine is clear of the trash, grease, and debris. Do not store oil rags that can ignite or burn spontaneously. Alright, prepare for an emergency. Be prepared for the fire start, first aid, and fire extinguisher. Hand keep the emergency numbers for the doctor, ambulance, service, and hospital, department near your telephone. It'll start fluid safely. Starting the fluid with highly flammable, all spark for the flame of the way for the music, and keep the starting fluid with the batteries and cable to prevent accidental discharge with the strong and the pressurized can. Keep the cap of the container, store the cool product with the protected location. Do not incinerate the puncture of the starting fluid container. Clean trash from the machine. Keep the engine compartment with the radiator battery, the hydraulic line, and with the fuel tank of the operating station. Clean the temperature engine of the compartment may be open immediately after the engine is stopped. Be on guard with the fires during the period. Open and exit for the cool the engine faster with clean the engine compartments. Protect against flying debris. The guard against the injury of the flying piece of the metal with the debris. Wear goggles and safety goggles. Wear protective clothing. Wear close-fitting clothing, safety equipment appropriate for the job. Operating equipment and safety required for the intent full attention for the operator. Do not wear radio or music headphones while operating the machine. Protect against the noise. Prolonged exposure to loud noise can cause impairment and loss of hearing. When superficially hearing protective such as the earmuffs and the earplugs protect against the objectionable, uncomfortable loud noises. Handle the chemicals safely. Direct exposure to the hands of chemicals cause the serious injury and potential hazard of chemicals used with this machine include the such items of the lubrication, coolness of the pool, paints, and the adhesive of the material safety data sheets to provide with the specific chemical of the product with the physical and health standards as a safety procedure for the emergency response techniques. Check for the material safety data sheets before you start any job using the hazardous chemical. If they will be, that way you will know exactly with the risk and how to do the job safely. The following procedure recommendation equipment. So you're authorized to yield the material safety data sheet on the chemical products that you use with your machine. Warn others surface work. Unexpected machine movement that can cause a serious injury. Movement before any of the work with the machine. Attach do not operate with the tag of the right control lever. Stay clear of the moving parts. Engage entanglements with the moving part that can cause a serious injury to prevent accidents. Use care with working around the rotating parts. Supporting machine properly. Always use the lower attachment and implement with the ground before the working of the machine, and just work on the lifted machine. Attachment securely support the machine. Attachment do not support the machine. On cinder blocks, hollow tiles, props that may crumble under the continuous load. Do not work under the machine and supported solely by the jack. Follow the recommendation procedure with the manual. Surface cooling system safely. Explosive release of the fluids and high pressurized cooling system can cause serious burns. Shut off the engine. Only remove the filler cap when the cool enough to touch the bare head. Slowly loosen the cap to the fire stop and relieve the pressure before removing the completely. Practice safe maintenance. Understand the surface procedure before doing work. Keep the air included. Dry. Never lubricate surface of the machine with the moving. They're going to keep the hands, key feet, the clear clothing of the proper driving parts. Before surfacing the machine, park the machine on level surface. Lower the bucket to the ground. Turn the auto idle. Switch off the running engage with the RPM down with 1/3 speed with 2 minutes. Move the engine RPM down with slow idle position. Turn the switch to the off position. Remove the key from the switch. Attach the do not operate tank on the right side with the control level. Pull the pilot control. Shut off lever to this lock position. Allow the engine engine to cool. If the maintenance procedure must be performed with the engine running, do not leave the machine unattended. Safely secure supportly machine elements must be removed. If the surface of work never work under the machine raised and on the boom, and if the machine must be raised, keep the 90 to 110 degree angle between the boom and the arm. Keep all the parts in good condition, properly installed with the fixed damage immediately. Replace the worn and broken parts. Remove any buildup of the grease or oil, the debris. Disconnect the battery ground cable negative before making the adjustment of the electrical system of the welding on the machine. Alright, removing the paint before the welding or heating. Avoid potential toxic fume. The dust hazard fume that can be generated when painting and heating by the welding, soldering, and use of the torch. And not always work outside with the weld. Ventilated air to dispose of the paint and solve it properly. Remove the paint with the welding, heating with avoid the sand and grit paint and ride paint with avoid breathing into the dust, wearing and improve with the respirator. If you use solve with the paint strip, remove the strip of the soap and the water before welding. Remove the solve with the paint strip of the containers of the other flammable material from areas allow fumes to disperse for at least 15 minutes before welding and heating. Avoid heating the air pressurized fluid. Flammable spray with the generator, the heating of the near the pressurized fuel lines with the result of the service burn for yourself with the bystander. Do not heat by welding, soldering, and using the torch gun. Pressurize the fluid lines and the other flammable materials. Pressurized lines can be accidentally cut when heating goes beyond the immediately inflammable area. Avoid high-pressure fluids. Escaping the fluid under pressure can penetrate the skin, causing serious injury. Avoid hazard relieving the pressure before the disconnecting of the hydraulic or other lines. Tighten all the connections before applying the pressure. Search the leak of the piece of the cardboard. Protect the hands of the body with the high-pressure fluids. Injection with the curve of the doctor immediately. The fluid injected with the skin must surgically be removed within a few hours or gangrene may result. The doctor is unfamiliar with the type of the injury with reference to knowledgeable medical support. Source for information available to the company, the medical department of the Moline, Illinois, United States, America. Prevent battery explosion. Keep the sparks and lighted matches, open flames away from the top of the battery. Battery gas can explode. Never check the battery. Change with the ballistic with the metal object across the post. Use the voltmeter with the hydrometer. But do not change with the frozen battery. And may explode with the warm battery at 16 degrees or 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Alright, clean the machine regularly. Remove any of the grease, oil, fuel, debris build up to avoid the possible injury with the machine damage to high pressure washing greater than 200 psi with the damage freshly painted and finished with the paint should be allowed to dry for 30 days minimum after the receipt of the machine before cleaning the high pressure use for low pressure washing operations until the 30 days have elapsed. Do not spray the oil coolers, line fins out of the end and angle. The fins may be bent. Or storage attachments safely. Storage attachments such as buckets, hydraulic hammers, and blades can fall and cause serious injury to death. Secure the storage attachment immediately with the falling. Keep playing children or bystanders away from the storage area. Battery terminals lifting, including the dry cleaning solvent of the compressed air. Warning, avoid possible injury to disconnect the negative terminal disc reverse and reconnect with the negative terminal left and disconnecting and reconnecting battery terminals. When lifting equipment, ensure that the lifting device is capable of supporting the desired weight with the inspection date with the stamp on the lifting device is not expired. Warning, dry cleaning solvent of the PD680 Type 3 is toxic and flammable. Well, protective glasses, goggles and gloves are used only with the well-ventilated air and avoid the contact skin, eyes closed, and do not breathe the vapor. Do not use the near the open flame with excessive heat with a flash point of 200 degrees Fahrenheit. If you become dizzy with using a solvent, get fresh air immediately. Get medical aid, and if contact with the eyes are made, wash your eyes out with water and get medical aid immediately. Warning, compressed air used for the cleaning of the purpose of the not exceed 30 psi. Use only effective chipping, guarding the personal protective equipment, goggles, shield, gloves, etc. Disposal of the waste properly, but the proper disposal of the waste can threaten the environmental and ecologically potential harmful waste of the machine, including such items as the oil, fuel, coal, brake fluid, and filter, batteries. Use leak-proof container with the draining fluid and do not use the food beverage container with the mist lamp if someone has been drinking into them. Do not pour waste on the ground, down and drain into any water source. The air conditioner refrigerators escaping the air can damage the air and atmosphere. Government regulation may be certified air conditioner service the consumer to recover the recyclable use of air conditioners refrigeration. Inquire with the proper use wants to recycle and dispose of the waste from the local environmental recycling center or from the authorized dealer. Alright, drilling. Before starting with the operator, make sure that there are no buried electrical, gas, water, or other pipes or lines. Always be aware of the previous drill hole where it is located with the open hole for the cause of serious injury, severe injury with the operator and someone else lost with the tools, the drill rods, with the drill bits, and any other items that can occur. When rising the guy for taking the care of the overhead lines, always maintain a minimum distance of 25 feet, the distance between the machine and any overhead lines during the operation. The operator will make with the serpent, sure that everybody stands clear of the machine and the operation stays of the distance of 7 meters or 25 feet. Nevertheless, the same, the operation needs to people to ensure may need people to enter the restricted area with the restricting the coupling of the temperature during the feed with the thrust of adjustment in instance. On such occasion, the operator must supervise from the cabin safety and services in doing work, and he must be ready to activate the cabin emergency shut stop if needed. The communication must be established in a reliable manner. Make sure that the hand signals will perfectly understand. The operator makes sure that the following the safety details to fix the driver drill guide with the warning the service man and the risk of the injured. The 869. Service manual must be provided with above the emergency stop bar with the guide. They always have the cabin door closely adjusted, collecting from the morning through the drilling, preventing the respirator damage. Keep all the work areas cleanly and orderly. Your rock drill maintenance. Keep the hand, arms, and legs of the clothing away from the moving, the rotating marks. The only genuine replacement part stopping the drilling and the bit change from the etc. Prior leaving the operator's compartment, the excavator hydraulic safety alarm will be raised for the lock of the machine. Safety switch the renders all the control improperable, preventing unwanted movement of the hydraulic cylinder. The hydraulic cylinder is equipped with two loads, sustainable loads. The load sustainable value always disconnected from the hydraulic hose of the cylinder if the need of the change, but never disconnect the value of the cylinder without supporting the control element drill with a guide. This shows the valve, the burn prevention. Operation temperature, hydraulic tank of the circuit with the component for the higher hot can be under pressure but they can avoid contact with the surface causes severe burns. Always release the pressure of waiting cooling before intervening with the hydraulic circuit. The warning, hot surfaces can cause injury. Avoid it. Ensure the surface can cool before touching. Fire prevention. For hydraulic oil leak with the smell out of the house surface, the electrical components that cause the fire repair immediate leaks and require clean machine to remove the inflammable materials and fuel, oil, and other debris. Avoid. Always use the provided safety solvent and cleaning of the parts for the machine. Have all loose electrical wires connected with the tie before operating the machine. Prevent the welding operation. Make sure the surface of the environment is free of flammable debris. Respiratory damage. Dusting coming off the dust collector of the fan. Indication of one of the several filters elements of damage. Change the damaged elements immediately. Always dismount the filters, all elements to check the function of an automatic filter cleaning sequence. Compressed air. Compressed air can be dangerous. Never point any air hose of yourself co-workers. Be sure all hoses and fittings are tightly secured. All loose hoses not only leaks but comes completely off while whipping under pressure can injure the operator and others in the area. Alright, never disconnect the pressurized air hose. The machine out contains the high pressure of the air which can cause severe injury to death of the hot oil or flying parts. Always retain pressure before the removed caps and plugs from the pressurized air system. Alright, your emergency stop. The CPA remote control of the assembly incorporates the emergency stop selector which always connect with the CPA emergency stop of the machine circle. When the CPA is installed, placing the selector on the position A to have the CPA emergency stop active. Place the selector on the position B to refine the normal excavator safety circuit when the CPA is not used. The CPA safety circuit incorporates two emergency stops. One of the mushroom type. The bush is located with the cabin of the remote with the control button. Pressing the button shuts down the engine. Unlock the knob, pulling it up to the position of the restart engine wire. The second emergency stop is located on the guardrail with the top of the engine while pulling on the wire attached along with the guide. To unlock the change device and be in position with the restart the engine, press on the button. Warning. Take necessary steps to safely start the engine after emergency stop. Alright, safety signs. Caution. The operators require single hearing and protection when operating the vehicle with windows door open. The ground personnel with the 8 foot of the operating vehicle that require single hearing protection. Caution. Operators require single hearing protection when operating the vehicle with the windows or door open. Ground personnel require single hearing protection within 8 feet of the vehicle operating one of the engines. Single hearing protection within 12 feet of the vehicle operating both the engines. Single hearing protection within 98 feet of the operating drill bit. And double hearing protection within 9 feet of the operating drill bit. Alright, so it shows the caution decal location. Danger. Serious injury death can result from the contact with electrical lines. Never more at any part with the unit load closer to the electrical line of 3 meters, 10 foot, plus twice from the line of the insulator length. And danger decal location. Warning, avoid serious crushing injury from the boom. Never place any part of the body beyond the window of the part of the frame. This could be crushed in the boom the control level of the accidental bumped. Otherwise, they're engaged. Do not remove the window bars and windows missing and broken. Replace them immediately. Warning decal A. Caution. Avoid death of the serious injury. Read of the understand the operator's manual. The safety manual prior to the operating of the machine control must be changed without attachment. Operator preference of the control pattern before operating. The always use the lower working tool for the ground and engage with the hydraulic control. Look out before the lever, leaving the operator's seat. Keep the riders off the machine. Avoid contact between the booms and attachments and overhead obstacles whenever the operating of the traveling of the transportation machine. Keep the bystanders clear of the machine, especially moving the parts of the boom and the swing of the upper structure for the traveling. Upper structure position effect for the traveling direction. Travel the pedal lever to determine the travel determination direction before moving the machine. Avoid the tab and tripping. Do not listen and move the objects of the exceed the machine's stability. Avoid parking machine on an incline. Our caution A decal. Alright, caution. Start only from the seat and park on the neutral. Starting in gear kills. Void. Warning. Operators may swing and reverse machinery. Stay clear. Caution. Prevent injury from front window falling of the lock window in place with the lock pins of the both sides. Caution, pressurized tanks cap removal. Loosen the hex vent plug the pressure, release the air pressure, insert the 4mm Allen wrench base from the turn of the release locking pin. Turn the cap counterclockwise to place the along the dashes, turn clockwise. Pressurized, do not open hot, remove the slowly at 15 psi, caution A decal. Alright, danger. Explosive cigarette flame and sparks can cause the battery to explode. Always shield the eye from the battery. Do not charge even the booster cable to adjust for the proper connection without proper instruction of the training. Keep the vent caps tight and level. The severe burns, caution, sulfuric acid. Avoid contact with the skin, eyes closed. The event accident flush when the water is called. The physician immediately clean out the reach. Keep out of the reach of children. Alright, attachment. Attachment pickup. When the safety lock pin disengaged with the switch and unlatched with the position fully with extend of the tool cylinder, place oil over the relief. Rotate the latch vertically, position the gauge with the front hook with the attachment, rotate the latch of the seat over the rear saddle. Move the switch in the latch position with full extend of the tool cylinder and place the oil lever over the relief. Check with the wedge engagement manually, engage the lock pin. Attachment removal. Okay. Manual disengage safety lock pin with attachment closed with the ground over the switch of the latch for the position fully extend the tool. Slowly replace it over the relief. Lower the attachment to ground and slowly uncurl latch. Lower the boom to release the attachment from the latch. Safety lock detail. Pin and lock position. See owner's manual for the complete operating instructions. Look on the right side window. Attachment working attachment buckle grappling central can contact with the cockpit cab. Always maintain the clearance between the attachment of the cab to prevent damage for the cab. The possible injury clearance will decrease the windshield operation when windshield is open. Located on the inner side of the lower left hand windshield. Look at these signs of the machine when pointing to the potential hazard for the safety of you others. Read and understand thoroughly with the head of the warnings following instruction. If you don't understand, inform the supervisor. Danger, red background, indicates presence of a hazard that will cause serious injury, death, and the property damage ignored. Warning, orange background, indicates presence of a hazard that can cause serious injury, death, and the property damage ignored. Caution, yellow background, indicates the presence of a hazard that will cause injury, property damage incurred. Notice the blue background indicates important setup, operating maintenance information. Danger, after discharge from the machine cannot contain the carbon monoxide or other contaminants which cause the series of an injury or death and do not breathe the air. Warning, trapped air pressure can cause the serious injury or death. Close the service valve of the operating tool with the trapped air before performing any service. Warning, high pressure fluid can cause the series of burning the open the radiator while warning, high pressure air can cause serious injury or death. Relieve the pressure, removing the filler, plugs and caps and fittings over the covers. Warning, disconnect air hose whip that can cause the serious injury death when using the air tool with attaching safety device OSHA valve the source of the air supply for each of the tool. Warning, combustible gas can cause serious burns or blindness and death. Keep the sparks open flames away from the batteries. Blank. Chapter 2, Operator Station. I'm kind of sick. I don't know if I'm going to read too much of this.